To understand the sheer violence of the industrial shift we are witnessing today, we must first deconstruct the mythology that has held the European automotive aristocracy together for half a century. Since 1970, when the first Range Rover rolled out of Solihull, the world has been seduced by a very specific narrative. It is a story of heritage. It is a story of tweed jackets, of country estates, of effortlessly crossing the Darien Gap or the Scottish Highlands. We have been conditioned, through decades of clever marketing and royal endorsements, to believe that true luxury is something that can only be forged in the fires of history. We believe that a badge from Great Britain or Germany carries a soul that a machine from Shenzhen simply cannot replicate. But if we strip away the marketing veneer and look at the engineering reality of the last 20 years, what do we actually see? We see an aristocracy in decay. We see the heritage tax, that premium of 50, 60 dashers or 70,000 pounds we pay over the raw value of the metal, being spent not on innovation, but on maintaining an illusion. The modern luxury SUV, be it a Range Rover autobiography, a Mercedes GLS, or a BMW X7, has become a monument to fragility. We have normalized the abnormal. We accept that air suspension compressors will fail the moment the warranty expires. We accept that timing chains on V8 engines will stretch. We accept that electrical gremlins are part of the character. This is the Stockholm Syndrome of the wealthy consumer. The legacy manufacturers grew arrogant in their monopoly. They believed that the barrier to entry, the complexity of the internal combustion engine, was an insurmountable wall that would keep the Chinese barbarians at the gate forever. They looked at BYD and saw a maker of batteries for Nokia phones. They didn't see the Predator evolving in the dark. While Land Rover was struggling to make a door handle that stays flush, BYD was solving the fundamental physics of energy density and structural rigidity. The arrogance of the West created a vacuum, and into that vacuum steps a machine that doesn't care about your heritage. It doesn't care about the badge on the bonnet. It cares only about the ruthless efficiency of physics. The Titan has arrived, and it is here to burn the history books. The documents that have just emerged from the Chinese Ministry of Industry are not merely a spec sheet. They are a geopolitical statement written in steel and aluminium. For the past decade, the BYD Tang was a polite vehicle. It was a mid-size SUV, competent but constrained, designed to fit into the crowded streets of Shanghai and the narrow parking spots of Oslo. It knew its place, but the vehicle revealed in these leaks, let's call it the Tang Titan, has undergone a mutation so aggressive it borders on the obscene. We are looking at a vehicle that has shattered the 5-meter barrier. The specifications indicate a length exceeding 5.2 meters and a width brushing past 2 meters. To put that into perspective, this machine is longer than a Range Rover Sport. It casts a shadow larger than a Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series. It is knocking on the door of the long wheelbase Range Rover and the Cadillac Escalade. In the psychology of the road, size is the primary currency of dominance. A 3-meter wheelbase pushes the wheels to the absolute corners of the chassis, creating what designers call the golden ratio of luxury. It implies stability. It implies that the occupants are so important, they require a living room's worth of real estate just to travel to the shops. But it is not just the size. It is the intent of the design. The dragon face aesthetic has matured. Gone are the fussy, over-styled grills of the early 2020s. In their place is a monolithic wall of aerodynamic efficiency. The front fascia is vertical, imposing, designed to clear the left lane of the Autobahn, simply by appearing in the rear-view mirror. The integration of LiDAR sensors into the roofline is seamless, suggesting a vehicle that sees the world with machine vision, calculating trajectories milliseconds before the human eye can even blink. This creates a road presence that was previously the exclusive domain of the British and Germans. BYD is saying, quite literally, we are no longer the alternative. We are the standard. We must address the elephant in the room. The die-hard petrol heads will scream. But where is the V8? A luxury car needs 8 cylinders. To them, I say, you are confusing noise with power. You are confusing nostalgia with engineering. Let us look at the thermodynamics of a V8 engine in city traffic. It is a disaster. A 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 idling at a traffic light is burning fuel just to keep its own mass spinning. It is generating heat, friction, and pumping losses. It is roughly 20% efficient. That means 80% of your expensive petrol is used to heat up the atmosphere, not to move the car. The BYD Titan utilizes the DMO Super Hybrid platform. This is not a hybrid in the sense of a Toyota Prius. This is an electric vehicle that carries its own power station. The internal combustion engine, likely a high-compression 2.0-liter turbo running on the Miller cycle, has been demoted. It is no longer the master. It is the servant. Its only job is to spin a generator. By decoupling the engine from the wheels, BYD allows it to run exclusively in its thermal sweet spot, that narrow band of RPM, where fuel combustion is near perfect, achieving over 46% thermal efficiency. The propulsion is handled by massive electric motors on the front and rear axles. We are expecting a combined output north of 500 horsepower. But horsepower is a vanity metric. The real number is torque. An electric motor delivers 100% of its torque at 0 RPM. In a Range Rover, when you mash the throttle to overtake, there is a negotiation period. The gearbox must downshift, the turbos must spool, the fuel must ignite. There is a lag of 1.5 seconds. In the Titan, the response is instantaneous. It is the violence of electromagnetism. You don't accelerate, you teleport. And because it carries a massive battery, likely over 40 kilowatt hours, it can operate as a pure EV for over 150 kilometers. This means the daily commute is silent, vibration-free, and costs pennies. Yet, when you need to cross a continent, the generator kicks in, extending the range to over 1,200 kilometers. It is the death knell of the diesel engine. It offers the range of a diesel with the silence of a Rolls-Royce and the acceleration of a Porsche. And historically, this was the Achilles heel of Chinese manufacturing. They could build fast cars, but they couldn't make them handle. They wallowed in corners like boats in a storm. The Europeans laughed, knowing that chassis tuning was a dark art that took a century to master. Well, the laughter has stopped. The Titan comes equipped with the DSUS Intelligent Body Control System. To understand why this matters, we must look at how a Land Rover handles a corner. It uses airbags and anti-roll bars. When you turn FI, the physical forces compress the outside suspension. The car leans. The anti-roll bar twists to fight it. It is a reactive system. It fights the laws of physics after they have already applied force to the car. The DSUS system is proactive. It utilizes a suite of sensors, accelerometers, gyroscopes, and potentially road-scanning LiDAR to read the tarmac ahead. It knows a pothole is coming before the tire hits it. It sends a signal to the solenoid-controlled dampers to adjust the viscosity of the hydraulic fluid inside. It can stiffen the suspension in 15 milliseconds to prevent body roll, keeping the 3-ton Titan flat in a corner. It can soften the rebound instantly to swallow a speed bump without spilling your coffee. This is what we call skyhook theory. The sensation that the car is suspended from the sky, independent of the road surface. By digitizing the suspension, BYD has bypassed 50 years of mechanical tuning heritage. They didn't need to learn how to tune steel springs, they just wrote better code. Let us open the doors and step into the cabin. This is where the battle for the high net worth individual is truly won or lost. The leaked interior schematics reveal a 2+2+2 seating configuration. This is a critical strategic move. The middle row is no longer a bench for the children. It is a pair of captain's chairs designed for adults. We are talking about airline-style sleeper seats with heating, ventilation, and 10-point massage functions. likely wrapped in sustainable Napa leather or high-end microfibers that breathe better than animal hide. But the true definition of luxury in 2026 is silence. Because the Titan operates as an EV for 90% of its life, the noise, vibration, and harshness levels are non-existent. There is no propeller shaft spinning at 3,000 RPM beneath the floorboards. There are no explosions happening in front of your feet. The cabin is a hermetically sealed sensory deprivation tank. In this silence, the digital ecosystem shines. The legacy brands are still struggling with laggy touchscreens and confusing sub-menus designed by committees in Germany. BYD, being a technology company first, integrates a digital architecture that is as fluid as an iPad. We expect a central rotating screen of over 15 inches, augmented reality heads-up displays that project navigation arrows onto the actual road lane through the windscreen, and voice control that actually understands natural language. It creates a third space. Not quite home, not quite the office, but a sanctuary in between. While the Range Rover driver is stressed about the warning light on his dashboard, the Titan passenger is reclining, getting a hot stone massage, and watching Netflix on a 5G connection. The end of the badge. Snob. We arrive, finally, at the brutal economic reality that seals the fate of the legacy competition. Let's talk about money. The depreciation curve of a European luxury SUV is one of the most terrifying graphs in finance. A Range Rover bought for £140,000 today will be worth £70,000 in 3 years. Why? Because the market is terrified of them. The second-hand market knows that out-of-warranty repair bills for complex European engines and air suspension systems can bankrupt a family. It is a liability, not an asset. The BYD Titan is expected to launch at a price point that is significantly lower, perhaps half, of its European rivals. But the killer blow is the total cost of ownership. With a battery designed to last 1.2 million kilometers, and brake pads that last 100,000 kilometers thanks to regeneration, and no complex gearbox or differentials to service, the running costs are negligible. This forces the wealthy consumer to ask a very uncomfortable question. What exactly am I paying that extra £70,000 for? Am I paying for the badge? Am I paying for the heritage? Or am I paying for the privilege of being stranded on the side of the motorway? We are witnessing a Nokia versus iPhone moment. Nokia had the heritage, they had the durability, they had the snake game, but the iPhone offered a new paradigm of utility that made the old virtues irrelevant. The BYD Titan is the smartphone on wheels. It exposes the Land Cruiser and the Range Rover as analog dinosaurs in a digital age. The badge snobbery that protected these brands is eroding, washed away by the sheer undeniable competency of the product. The meteor has already hit the earth. The dinosaurs just haven't looked up yet. I'm Elson, from drive&rpm. If you want to witness the future before it overtakes you, subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments below, would you trade the prestige of a Range Rover for the future of a BYD Titan? Or is the badge still worth the headache? See you in the next deep dive.